There are important major events going on in the world at the moment, and sometimes you think, oh, I want to do this. I want to look at this story here, and it doesn't seem terribly important, but it is important to somebody. And and the non-crime hate incident, the NCHI, seems to me a sort of festering blight, a term that in Orwellian fashion seems to defy itself, a thing that is not a crime, which is nevertheless something that may haunt your future employment, limit your speech, and invite a visit from the police. So we could begin with the facts. NCHIs are defined as incidents which do not reach the threshold of criminality, but are perceived, not proven, mind you, only perceived to be motivated by hostility towards protected characteristics such as race, religion, gender, identity, or disability. I don't know whether defining somebody as a woman or not now could be could merit an NCHI. That they are logged by police, often without informing the accused, and can be disclosed on enhanced DBS checks. And that means you could be denied a job in teaching, social care, or public service for something that you said that was not a crime. Now, some defenders of NCHIs argue that they serve as an early warning system, a preventative tool designed to monitor community tension and avert future hate crimes. The Macpherson report, born of the tragic murder of Stephen Lawrence, was the original impetus, and a good impetus, and the spirit of that report, which rightly demanded a reckoning with institutional racism, remains crucial. But consider where we are now in 2023, not even in 2025, over 100,000 such NCHIs were recorded. Police forces have now admitted through Freedom of Information requests that 14 out of 15 forces conduct no analysis of this data. They're collecting it, storing it, and potentially disclosing it without any evidence that it works. Now, 2025, that number must be significantly higher. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe somebody who's listening to this will know that number. I don't. But it must be much higher now. And doing what? The Met, the Greater Manchester Police, West Midlands, all admit they don't know whether NCHIs prevent crime. They simply log them. This isn't evidence-based policing. It's a bureaucratic memory hoarding with no demonstrable benefit and tangible harm. This is Brazil, not the country, but the film, gone wild. And the harm is real. We have numerous cases, and these are the cases which are proven to be where there hasn't been a name confusion. In Brazil, the whole plot of that film was that there was a name confusion caused by a fly that got into the typewriter. Alison Pearson is a case where police turned up at the doors of at her doors for over a tweet. Over a tweet, no crime, no warning, just quiet intimidation. And it's often the perception of a third party, not the subject, not the alleged victim, that triggers an investigation. It's Kafka meets Kafka's nosy neighbour. It's not simply an overreach, it's a reversal of the burden of proof, where suspicion alone becomes the stain and lawful expression becomes surveillance fodder. And in that inversion, we risk replacing policing with policing thought. And this isn't a neutral enforcement. There is an inconsistency across police forces. What's recorded in Essex may be dismissed in Northumbria. Harry Miller, himself a victim of NCHI overreach, has said this is a system designed not to protect, but to stigmatise, to hurt. One can argue that the intent here is noble. But intent is not impact, and 11 years on, the outcome is that a child calling someone a name in school could end up flagged on a police database for life. A misinterpreted treat could see you barred from future employment. This is not proportionate policing. This is chilling. And this is done on hearsay and allegation. And yet the police remain under instruction to monitor perceived hostilities with common sense. But what is common sense when institutional guidance fails, when resources are stretched, when fear of reputational damage incentivizes over-recording? We need to go back to first principles. Policing must be proportionate. It must be evidence-led and accountable. And the current regime of NCHIs is none of these things. It's not rooted in data, as the College of Policing's own failure to analyse the effectiveness of the NCHIs confirms. It's not proportionate, as cases involving trivial classroom marks or lawful political commentary show. It's not accountable, as the DBS system quietly permits personal data from non-criminal investigations to shape one's own professional future. We're in a dangerous position where good intentions and bad systems combine to produce repression masquerading as protection. So what's to be done? The Home Office has now, under pressure, promised a review. Overdue. That review must now do more than tweak definitions. It must confront the deeper truth that liberty is not a secondary consideration in the face of perceived offence. Free speech, even uncomfortable speech, is a cornerstone of democratic life. We cannot outsource our collective resilience to the police. And if somebody says something wrong, then we need to help them correct it. We shouldn't be penalising them for something that they repeated or said foolishly. We must find out if harm has actually been done, and if that harm was intentional. People write stupid things because they want to show off or whatever. Let the police investigate real crimes. Let schools handle social friction, yet let communities have hard conversations. But let us not make the police custodians of every disagreement or discomfort. If the state polices what is not a crime, then it begins to define what is not freedom. It begins to restrict freedom. It begins to restrict our life. And we enter the slow and sure journey towards a repressive, tyrannous state. And that isn't good. And it fills me with horror that I'm having to agree on this instance with J.D. Vance. But I do, absolutely. This is not this NCHI nonsense is not freedom, and it's not helpful.